Sapphire. First dog to chase down the Bigfoot. Maybe not the first dog, but the first dog on film.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm in the gold country. It's beautiful. Trees, snow. In a remote location. Hopefully today I find some gold or maybe catch a Sasquatch in action. So check out the show. Welcome to the Quest for Bigfoot, day number 7. Let's go. Today we have a special guest, and I will let him introduce himself.
Hello, my name's Mike Hertzberg. I'm a native Californian, born in Oakland, California, raised in the East Bay, and these gentlemen want to ask me some questions on my Bigfoot sighting, or what I refer to as the big hairy monster. People call him Sasquatch, Bigfoot, a lot of different names. He is just something that is not from this planet to me. He is, I don't know how to explain it, but when my sighting was over with, it took me 2 years to get the encounter with the tall hairy beast out of my mind. And these gentlemen want to ask me some questions, and I told them to go ahead and do it.
Okay, the night of your first encounter with the Sasquatch, can you tell us what happened?
We were having dinner at the Topaz Lodge in California on the Nevada borderline on Highway 395 at the Topaz Lake. The place was called the Little Nugget at that time. And this was in 1986. After finishing dinner, we were going back to our campsite, which was called Shingle Springs Campground, which is just below south of Topaz Lake on Highway 395. Very poor lighting. We passed up the campground and started heading towards the town of Bridgeport. When we seen the town's lights, we knew we had gone too far. So we had to turn around, and the campground entrance sign was very small. My father was with me, my brother was with me, and I was looking for the sign on the highway 395 to get into the campground. I was looking ahead on the road. Brother was driving, and I seen something walking towards us on the highway, thinking that it might be a bear. I didn't think my brother had seen what I've seen, so I told him to stop the truck. And he wouldn't listen to me because he didn't see it. So I yelled at him at a fairly high tone to get his attention. Seconds later, he seen what I seen, and he slammed on the brakes, My father, I pushed onto the floorboard of the truck thinking that this thing was going to come through the windshield. When we came to a stop, this hairy, 8-foot tall, Bigfoot you might want to call him, I guess you can call him Bigfoot, was in front of the truck, which was a 4-wheel drive F-150 Ford. His waist came to the top of the hood of the truck. The hairy beast had glowing red eyes, long hair, blondish red, about 8 inches long coming off its arms, and it was a stringy hair. It was not what you normally see on so-called reported Bigfoot sightings, of more of a gorilla type hair. This was long, stringy hair coming off his arms, lighter hair on his chest, long hair on its head with a flattish face. It looked like a real old man with a flattened nose. Didn't have a cone head like most people say. It was a regular head, but just large. I predicted it would probably be anywhere from 8 to 10 feet tall. Not only were we scared, but the creature was scared too. And it went to the right of us and ran into a wire fence. It bounced off the wire fence back out in front of us, did a 360 in front of us, and went and hit the wire fence again. Came back out in the middle of the street in front of us. It hesitated and walked to the left of the truck after trying to lead to the right of the truck and hitting the fence. It went to the left of the truck and looked at us with these glowing red eyes, and thinking, my thoughts, that he was going to try to enter the vehicle, probably through the windshield, or pick the vehicle up and throw it in the river, because we were right alongside the river. On the left-hand side, there was a white ranch rail fence. It was probably about, probably 5 feet tall, 5.5 feet tall. It ran to that fence, turned around as if he was going to catch a football as a wide receiver stance, posed, turning his head around, looking at us, and took one leap over the fence and ran up a small little canyon. And we had the windows down, and you could hear the branches just going pow, 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 snapping. So it took us a few seconds for us to get back to our senses and shake our heads and look at each other and see if you know, it was like a dream. So we headed back to the camp, and one of us was sleeping in a tent on the ground, and then 2 of us were in the camper shell. There was a camper shell, large camper shell in the back of the truck, and there was no way we were going to go back in our tents. So I locked the camper up, and I left my father out in the tent. He didn't care; it didn't bother him any. When we left the campground the following day, we went back to work, and I had called up the local forestry department in that area and explained to the gal that was working there what we had witnessed. And the gal asked where, and she said that that's where she lived, and that she had to go home that night to that particular place. And she said that there was a work crew working on trails up in the mountains, were chased out of their camp by such a creature that I described. So there's some validity to this, besides not only 3 witnesses, me, my brother, and my father, but the forestry ranger work crew. I never talked to her since that one time. I never researched anymore on who the work crew was and what they seen. But there's definitely something out there.
We're in the gold country, Archangel Treasures. Actually, this is the quest for Bigfoot, day number 7.